Hey everyone, don't get anxious, get prepared. Your career engineer right here. And this is our live broadcast we do on the first Mondays of the month. We're going to talk today about the questions you submit to me that I thought were pretty cool and have that conversation. But if you have a live question, we invite you to be a part of it right now by putting it in there. You can always email us your questions info at tcenow.com. Of course, visit us at tcenow.com to find out all the who we are and what we do. So like, subscribe, y'all know, do all that stuff if you like this great content. We're going to be right back with your questions and answering them. Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm back. So listen, yeah, like I said, visit us, tcenow.com is who we are, the career engineer. Don't get anxious, get prepared. And we're looking forward to it. Y'all send some, it's kind of tough. I'll get the questions. I got to figure out which ones are the best ones for this short conversation that we're going to have together while we're live today. So, but I hope I picked ones that you guys would like. To make sure you know more about us than what you just see here on this platform, make sure you join our newsletter. You get a free great gift. I think it's about how to make a resume or how to really make your brand get visibility. But tcenow.com, we'll have the new job numbers. They'll be coming out real soon and other things so you can know how to govern yourself and move forward. All right. So again, your comments, I'll be taking them right here when you post them. So that will be cool. But I do have some news I want to hit before I get to the comments, the questions that were submitted. The new jobs report will show up this Friday. Remember, it's the second Friday of the month, or the first Fridays of the month. I'm sorry, let me get that right. But last month, because I'm looking at these trends. Can you believe we're in a new month already? Look how fast time flies. But there were 236,000 job gains last month, right? And that was great. So I'm really looking forward because I know we've heard layoffs and more rumors of layoffs to see if those numbers go up or they go down. The last report, a great unemployment rate for those of you in the market looking to move up or move out. So the 3.5 unemployment rate from the last month's report. Let's see if it stays the same or goes up. But a really interesting number. And there'll be a new report tomorrow with the JOLT report. But last month, the job openings went down to 9.9 million job openings. I mean, come on. But it was around 11 million, so that was pretty incredible. So anyway, it's a good time. It's the numbers are still looking good for those of you who are thinking of making a move, or you want to just see how the market is, what's available. So it's not. I mean, I remember how bad it was several years ago, right? Don't we all remember the trauma? So I'm pretty positive it's looking pretty good now, particularly since we got these college graduates. They'll be coming out real soon. So here was a question that, I mean, I've seen this in different forms, and I know particularly there are some businesses. I mean, you guys are paying attention. You see the layoffs that are going on, and if companies are laying things off in some of the tech world or things of that nature, even though those numbers, the job numbers I just showed you, still look pretty grand. The point is, there are sometimes businesses that are attached to that robust market, and if that market starts to change, some business owners, they see their bottom line changing, and some have had to making a decision. What do I do? Do I keep putting more coals in the fire here, or do I just course correct? So this was a question asked to me by several, and even though I'm not in an official coaching capacity right now, but I'll share with you some things you can do just to get the things flowing. So someone is struggling in their business and they're considering getting back to work, or going back to the workforce full time. So if that is you, or you're thinking about that, there are some steps you want to take versus being reactive and just jumping into another fire. Okay. Because if you've been an entrepreneur a while, you've got certain traits about you that might be a little, you're going to have to make some adjustments if you go back to being a W-2. So that's why self-assessment is so important. You've got to know who you are and what you bring. You've got to know, even from this standpoint, okay, maybe I've done W-2 many, many moons ago, but I've been running a small business, a successful business, brick and mortar, virtual, on my kitchen table, whatever you've been doing to generate income. And now you're thinking about, the stability. Hey, the stability of a W-2 check, because that's it'd be like that sometimes. There ain't no such stability with the entrepreneurial stuff. So you gotta to ask yourself some critical questions though before you jump right in. I mean, before you do the resume. This is what I suggest. Okay. Where do you want to contribute? I mean, you've got lots of gifts and talents, some unique skill sets, particularly if you were, running on your own steam. Where do you want to apply all this good stuff? The stuff you had before, the stuff you've learned now. What don't you want to do, even in your business? Maybe like some folks are saying, I can't do this anymore. It's just a struggle. Well, what's it about that industry that's got you struggling? Maybe there's parts of the industry you still like, but not that part. So, what do you want to do? What's your ideal environment? I mean, maybe there's some companies or some, um, um, you know, e- um, some ecosystems that really get you going. I love dynamic stuff, right? I'm also into, I like an ever changing environment. I don't like being closed in. Not that I can't work in a cubicle, I can, but I would love an opportunity. If I'm going to work somewhere else for somebody else where I can kind of ebb and flow and come in, leave, kind of have a change of scenery. That works for me. So wherever places I would think I'd like to work, if I decide to go back to work for someone else, I cannot be the 9 to 5 in that one little box. It's not part of the best environment for me. So you need to ask yourself that question, because many entrepreneurs kind of go, right? You're like, hey, I'll go to a trade show, I'll go to a convention, maybe I'm working in the park, maybe I'm putting my widget together. You've got a very dynamic world. So W-2s may or may not have that. So first do some very important self-assessment, and I'll give you some more questions to consider, because this is a big deal. I mean, if you're going to shut down all the way, are you going to do a 9 to 5 while you still work your 5 to 9? There's all kinds of ways of generating revenue again. So you may not have to close the shop all the way. You might just need to supplement your income. So those are part of those self-assessments. But some more questions. I mean, what do you love about what you're doing now? What do you dislike about it? If you could work for any person or any company, who would that be and the why? Why is of that? I mean, if Bezos wants to hire someone and that's a guy or someone you really admire, what is it about his presence or his brand that makes you go, I would love to work for that guy? And you kind of answer the why. That'll help you to do some job development on where you want to go, get some ideas on places and spaces, corporate America, nonprofit, government, whatever your thing is, right? So you want to do all that first. Notice I didn't say resume first. I didn't say any of that yet, because you got to figure out where you want to go. You really do. You don't want to jump into something totally terrible. So part two for those for the business owner who's considering going back to the W-2 because you've been impacted by what's going on in the market. Yes, now is the time to get that wonderful design of yours dusted off, get all the cobwebs off, because you never thought you was going to use it again, because you've been in the business world. So you need to update it, but don't discount all the gifts and talents you've learned from running your own shop. Whether it's a small shop, virtual shop, doesn't matter. I mean, and think about those things you've done and how you're going to promote that as you go back to the W-2. Yes, you've had skills and abilities when you used to work with someone or for someone, but when you worked for yourself, right, you had to be your own locomotive. So think about some of these great skills that you probably like, oh, it wasn't that much. I really didn't do that much. Yes, you did. So think about administration, your accountability, your accounting, your fiscal accountability, your budgeting, how you stretched your dollar, how you made more dollars, right? Business development, how did you get the business in? What did you do? I mean, was it all word of mouth? But even if it was, you probably had a strategy with that. Did you advertise? Did you network? I mean, all those things, operations. What did you do to, keep the lights on and the heat going? I mean, was there, I mean, maybe there's certain, if you paid rent, you had to deal with rentals and things of that nature. So if you hire, even if you had interns, if you had to manage people, places of things, think about those skills and how they can really be awesome for your resume. And then, then you're going to have to figure out which of those skills are real and relevant for where you want to go. That was the assessment question I said first. So this is going to take you some time. This is not a quick, fast, in a hurry. And as much as you all are diving into the AI world, do not sit there and think the AI is going to capture all of your essence for you that quick. It doesn't work that way. And by the way, we all can tell the robot made resumes. It's not hard to find. So get this is your first brochure again, entrepreneur in the career space. So make it count for you. So you really want to get into that. Number three, now we get to develop your market. So this is a 1, 2, 3 step, which is going to take you about 40 to 50 hours, easy, maybe even more. But I mean, if you want to do it right. So now that you've kind of figured out who you are, what you bring, you've got some great skills and gifts and knowledge and all that kind of great stuff, where are you going to go? Where you want to put it? Who wins you, right? Who gets to win? So you want to develop your market, you want to do your research, and you've got to have a strategy. I've said it before. I know you guys have heard me say it again. Anywhere and everywhere is not a job search. Think about like we said, what companies really impress you. What's the trends in your industry? You've got to know your industry trends, because every industry is doing something right now, right? Developing, growing, changing. You got to be on top of that. What's the environment? All those things matter in your zip code. Top 50 companies, top 100 companies, word of mouth. Ask your friends and your family. Network. So you want to do your research and find a nice sweet spot of 100 companies minimum. It could be more. It could be a top 25 if you've done some really good due diligence to identify. And then you get out there and you apply and you let them know who you are, and you become visible in their places and spaces. It's not one place. It's not sitting just on the internet blasting 1,000. Of course you can do that. You can go to all the great job sites that's out here and knock yourself out. Or you can be more strategic so you can find the right environment for you. That's critical today, what you'd like to do. So those are ways that you can do that, right? So like I said, it happens. Great question. And again, I've seen this question several different ways. And let me also add this, no shame here. Don't feel bad. Don't feel some kind of way because you've decided to get some stability, some sustainable income into your household. That's smart. That's brilliant. That's using your noodle. And I'm proud of you for doing it. Just think of different ways that you can do that. All right. And like I said, you could start fresh all over, or maybe supplement. It's funny. I got this question. I think when I responded to it, the person thought like, really? That's all you got to say? And I was like, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that people do, but I'm thinking for me, I think one of the bigger ones, even if you are this rocket scientist guy, or you've got an MBA from Yale, or you've got, you're Harvard, you're all of that and a bag of chips. But for me, it was always, proofreading, and even the best of us makes mistakes. I have made mistakes on, not proofreading too quickly because I'm so close to it. And I'm not looking at the errors because I'm like, I wrote this, I know what I meant. But get a stranger, someone else, to read the document first before you send it out. You can't trust your own eyes sometimes. You just can't. I mean, and yes, there are great apps. There's Grammarly and all these other kind of writing apps that can help pick up some things. But remember, the word to could be TO, TOO, or TWO. Which one are you referring to? Which two do you mean? Right? So it's very important to make sure you get someone else to look at it. I don't care what AI app you're using, right? Or AI powered app these days. Everybody's AI powered. But to me, proofreading is the biggest one. So whether you are this big shot, maybe your reputation is strong enough that if you make an error, it doesn't matter. But for the rest of us, if folks see your work sample and your names are misspelled, emails are misspelled, you're not consistent with grammar. I mean, it just kind of shows a little bit of how quick, fast, in a hurry you put something together. I mean, yes, I want great content. Sure, I want to look great, but at the end of the day, I got to read it. If I don't think you took the time to make sure verbs and adjectives worked, or capitals or stuff like that, well, you're going to do that for me, right? You're going to work for me and do whatever. You're just going to put it out there. You're not going to check. I mean, I saw a product by a business owner that someone paid for, and I just happened to look at it. Again, I'm a pair of eyes that I'm not connected. I don't know I'm not that emotionally connected to what I'm looking at. And the links didn't work. There were misspellings. There was all kinds of stuff. And I was like, how long have you had this? And the person was like, oh, several months. And I'm thinking, and again, the customer trusted the person to what? QA, proofread, check the product before you give it to me. And they didn't. So I'm telling you, just QA. If you don't like the word proofreading, call it quality assurance. Just QA your product before you send it out. That is what's most important. Okay. So thank you again for being a part of our conversation here. And like we said before, feel free if there's a question or a question. I'm thinking of something else anyway. A question or a comment, you can chat here, put in the chat, or send me an email. I'd love to get your question. You never know. I might pull it to be here on the show or share with it on television or radio or any of the things we do. But we thank you for watching our Ask the Career Engineer for April and the trends and what's hot. So listen, don't get anxious, get prepared. We'll see you next time. Remember, check us out, tcenow.com. Be blessed, stay safe, and we will talk to you next month. God bless.